And welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Bros. This is Big Baby Ben.
Shoot is black, baby. You know it, man. We've been doing this, man, since April this year. We started out on Spotify. This is Wrestling with Bros. Man, this is crazy. It is the end of 2023 and also the end of another season of Wrestling with Bros, episode 37 of season 2. Brother, man, let's get it tonight.
Man, what a ride it's been. What an honor it's been to do this with you since Spotify audio all the way to now. Now we're going to sit back and look at 2023 and what a wrestling year
Man.
it was.
Man, we have done things that we could only dream about, brother. I mean, this was originally just about talking about wrestling, just sitting down and talking about wrestling. Man, we have gone to new heights with this. We have been to wrestling shows. We have gained interviews with wrestlers that beforehand would have never even thought of talking to us.
Right.
I mean, if I would have been walking by one of them on the streets, or I had just gone to a wrestling show just for fun, they would high five me, walk by, kept on going. But as quickly as we started doing this and we became a video podcast shortly within a few months after starting, people started noticing. We started going to wrestling events, talking to the owner of HAW, Danny Maldo, Trey Parker, the ring announcer, man. Awesome people, by the way, fans. If you don't know them, the show, the promotion itself just has an amazing vibe, and they bring on some amazing stars. Conan Lycan, Heather Reckless, Mateo, and don't forget our boy AMB, Austin
AMB.
Michael Baldridge, Su Young from TNA. I mean, it doesn't get any higher than that, man. Like,
Starstruck.
absolutely. Madman Fulton, originally a member of Insanity from NXT. And don't forget, Heather Reckless also has wrestled, for like TNA and things like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
in this coming year, fans, you will not want to miss it. Coming up, I think it's like April. It's going to be Heather Reckless versus Su Young. Oh, that's a TNA caliber match. Little Heather Reckless taking on this undead bride. It's going to be amazing. So,
Oh, yeah.
talking about our boy AMB, Austin Michael Baldridge, brother, what kind of news do we have about AMB?
You know, AMB, the man that does crazy, crazy shit in the ring and makes it look real good while he does it. Dude, video of the year.
Absolutely.
Got us the most views this year. Shout out to Austin Michael Baldridge. Go add him on Snapchat, the official AMB. Go add him, not Snapchat, Instagram. I apologize. Go add him on everything. Search him on YouTube. You're gonna find his matches. This guy's crazy, man. Go look at the HAW YouTube page, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Talking about that little man, dude, the little guy that could fly. That man doesn't care how big you are, and he proved that in his match this year with Conan Lycan when he took him on for the Midwest Honor Among Wrestling Championship. He took a ass whooping in that match. They threw each other around while Conan threw him around, but he held his own. Did a ton of high flying, but proved in the end just because you're Goliath does not mean David can't beat you. He proved it, and he proved to be a worthy adversary to gain that title. Man, it's just crazy talking about this because it all went by so quickly, just so quickly, and I'm looking forward to the new year, man.
Oh yeah.
I have some exciting news, fans. January 2nd, you got to tune into Wrestling with Bros. January 2nd, AMB is coming back on. He is going to join us for an amazing creative episode. The Cruiserweight Championship, smaller titles, man. talking about the little man and how he can. Just because he's small doesn't mean he can't get it done. And one of my favorite little men of WWE, Rey Mysterio, we have seen that man take on the likes of Batista, the Great Khali, JBL. It just goes on and on. Just because he was small, that, oh man, one of the greatest luchadors to ever do it. And there was something I seen. I was I think about a week ago, a couple of days ago, on Facebook that said that WWE finally did it. They finally did it. They found their next Rey Mysterio. Dragon Lee
Oh,
is finally getting over with the fans. And don't get me wrong, that man, he has a ton of charisma, but before you start comparing him to Rey Mysterio, let him build his career a little bit. Because you guys tried it. You tried it with Sin Cara.
didn't work.
You tried it with Kalisto.
Definitely didn't work.
You tried it with joining three masked guys together in a team called Lucha Libre House Party.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. But now I am going to give it to Dragon Lee. That man can perform. He has proven himself in this ring. So, honestly, I kind of see a little bit of the Rey Mysterio look to him. Because one day Rey Mysterio is going to retire. He just ain't going to be able to do it forever. And what did Dragon Lee do to not only make Rey proud? He beat Rey's son, Dominic, for the North American Championship. And
absolutely. What a match, too.
Oh, my God. What a match. Those two went back and forth, but Dragon Lee proved why he is the next top Lucha Libre of WWE. And talking about, our favorites and whatnot, we got a whole list of them tonight to kind of go through. Favorite storyline of the year. Ooh. Brother, what was your favorite storyline?
I gotta say, this battle against the Bloodline thing has been pretty interesting to watch. I'm not a Roman fan, but I can admit his storytelling the last 3 years has been the best we've seen in about 10?
Yeah, 10 years. I mean, there's been some great storylines this year, man, but nothing like the Bloodline storyline. I mean, man, it started 3 years ago. We're watching this match, and I can't even remember what match it was. I think it was between it was Braun Strowman and someone else. And then out of nowhere, Roman just attacks. He attacks, beats him down, stacks him in the ring, and walks away. It started out, beat him down, stack him, and leave, and leave. And the man went out, before he came back, went out with leukemia. And we all know, and this is a serious no offense, leukemia is not a joke. That stuff,
no,
it could destroy your body. And to have to fight that, it's horrible. He stood in the middle of the WWE ring and said, "My name is Joe Anoa'i, and I have leukemia, and I have to go and fight this." Just one thing real quick here from Wrestling Bitch 29. I know this is random, Judas. Did you see the newest Bray Wyatt shirt? It has all the characters on it, and then says his start year to end year. No, I had not seen that yet, but I'm definitely going to be checking that out now at this point. But back to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. He went out with leukemia, come back. Before he went out with leukemia, I mean, I think he had a title, didn't he? He had like the
Universal title on Raw.
Yeah, Universal title, and he had to relinquish it due to the fact that he was going out, and it was for an unprecedented amount of time. So there was no way of knowing when he was going to be back. But, getting into that, he came back a changed man, not just feeling better from not dealing with leukemia anymore, but a changed man, a man that we hadn't seen before, a Roman Reigns that just changed the outlook of WWE. And, they kept teasing it for a while and teasing it. And then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns is paired up with Paul Heyman. And, this is one we didn't put on our list, brother, but I'm going to give a shout out for a manager of the year.
Oh,
Paul
manager of the
Heyman.
century.
Paul Heyman has taken the likes of CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I could say Kurt Angle or Curtis Axel a little bit because he did have an Intercontinental title run. But the biggest names, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, headline careers because of Paul Heyman and his amazing ideas, his creative mind that just blows your mind, bro. Just blows your mind. And he took this broken Roman Reigns, stack him and
going
leave.
Nowhere.
And I think that stack him and leave thing wasn't Paul's idea. That was Roman's new idea. Stack him and leave. And Paul Heyman says, I can do you one better. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And Roman thought, you got a good idea there. And the tribal chief was born. The bloodline was born. And, every time we think that somebody has figured out a way to stop the bloodline, there's another bloodline member, a new family member. So anyway, storyline of the year, shout out goes to the bloodline.
Absolutely.
There's been other storylines, Edge's little bit of run with WWE. Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, amazing tag team. They had a nice little run through a few people before Randy went out.
LWO's been nice.
LWO. And I think Randy's thing kind of tracks back to 2022, honestly, because he was gone for a while. But Cody Rhodes's storyline. Finish the story. Finish the story. No. Come on. Give Cody something better. Cody is an amazing wrestler, and he just gives it his all in the ring.
Oh, but they did give it to him. They gave him tag team titles with Jey Uso. And it was a couple months?
Even better. Here's something even better that's probably going to become, when we do this next year, another storyline that's been kind of boiling up from underneath the bloodline as the bloodline's starting to crumble and fade to a point. The Judgment Day.
Yeah.
They went from this bloodline storyline and started this new storyline with the Judgment Day. And it has been very interesting.
Yes, it has.
Very creative, very smart. And it leaves you wondering, did Paul Heyman have something to do with this?
Did you see the video that I sent you of The Rock's daughter backstage with Paul Heyman?
Yes.
And he has his phone case like this, and he's reading the bloodline to her. What if 2024, The Rock's freaking daughter, Ava Lane, is that her name? Ava Lane?
Ava Raine,
yeah, is out of nowhere from NXT in the bloodline.
Brought into the bloodline to take on the Judgment Day, or even potentially face off against Rhea Ripley for her title. There's a lot of possibilities out there. The chances, the opportunities. These two storylines, I feel the bloodline one got more spotlight in 2023. The Judgment Day has kind of been like this, and it's slowly coming up to even out with the bloodline. and they're doing great. And the comedy skits they've been throwing in lately with R-Truth, absolutely love them.
I mean,
R-Truth is a legend.
oh yes.
He is a legend. He's a comedian. He doesn't have to have a title on his waist to be relevant.
No.
I loved his little 24/7 championship runs.
The most runs ever. What was it, like 50 some titles?
My baby, I got it back. So, and that kind of leads us into favorite wrestler of the year, amateur and professional. Baby, why don't you go ahead and give me yours first?
We got a comment from the fan real quick. Cody Rhodes is my number one man since my man Bray Wyatt. May he rest in peace. Absolutely, may he rest in peace. And the cover a little bit about Bray Wyatt real quick. They just gave him a Legends contract so his kids can stay fed for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
So shout out to WWE for taking care of Bray Wyatt's kids.
That leads, before we get started on our favorite wrestlers here, Bray Wyatt, may you rest in heaven, man, because we know that you followed the buzzards, man, because it was time, and you left this world, but you left us with a hole, man.
A big hole.
A big hole that just isn't going to be filled anytime soon, because you played Bray Wyatt in the Wyatt family. You played The Fiend. You played Wyatt and Wyatt 6 that we never got to officially finish because we lost you. We never got to see where that storyline was going because you were taken from us way too soon. And, I lost a brother at 36. So to lose somebody at 36 years old, that's scary even for myself, because I'm 35 years old, man. That's scary, because you never know when your time is up or when your date is. And one day it's going to come, and there's nothing you can do but create as many memories and leave an everlasting one that fans all around the world will remember you for. The people that you love and care for. Bray Wyatt, man, may you rest in peace. And shout out to your family, man. We are here. We are listening. We know you're in pain. And we're so, so sorry for your loss. And we hope that things start getting a little bit easier. We know they'll never be better or forgotten. But hopefully over time, the memories will continue to be with you. But the pain will ease a little bit. So rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. 2023, the year of the loss of an amazing superstar.
Absolutely.
And family man. So, favorite wrestlers of the year, amateur and professional. Big Baby, why don't you go ahead and go with your amateur one first?
Amateur, man, gotta be my boy, AMB. I mean, he gets it done in the ring. He gets it done outside the ring. I just shared a post over to the Facebook page of AMB went to St. Jude's and did a toy drive.
Yep.
I mean, this guy's doing work. I mean, he's getting the work done inside the ring, outside the ring. I mean, this guy right here is something special. I'm telling you, one day this guy's going to make it major.
Absolutely. He's going to make it to the big leagues. And one day we'll be sitting here watching WWE, and there'll be a debut.
We know that guy.
We know that, man. Oh, my God.
We interviewed that man.
We interviewed him. He was on the show. And now he's this amazing superstar. And yes, we do still talk to him every other week.
Yep.
Because we ain't letting that man go. You will always be welcome on Wrestling with Bros AMB. It was a little bit of a close call with my favorite amateur. I will give my main amateur, which would be our boy AMB, Austin Michael Baldridge. You are an amazing superstar, man. I know it sounds like we're gushing over you, man, but if you didn't do what you did, man, we wouldn't know you.
And you've been so good to us this year. It's been crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So shout out to AMB, Amateur Wrestler of the Year on Wrestling with Bros. My secondary that kind of fell into second place, the runner up for me, Conan Lycan. Conan
Really?
Lycan, oh my God, man. That wrestler, he can move around a ring like none other. And he just absolutely tears it up in the ring. And he does things that a man his size should not be able to do. I mean, I watched this man pick up wrestlers, pop them up like this, do this weird flip in the air and slam them and pin them. I watch him pop people up and power bomb them. I watch this man fly over the top rope. Like, that shouldn't be possible, but it is. And we're going to add a little bit to this. We have to. We have
Uh,
to.
I do got a secondary that I would like to bring up.
All right, brother.
Mateo.
Oh boy, oh boy, yes,
Man,
yes.
Mateo, what a charismatic superstar and such a charismatic guest on our show. I could
And
not let go that Mateo deserves an honorable shout out.
that man is making it big in the LGBTQ pride community, and he is proving that no matter what you choose for your life or how you choose to be, it doesn't define you, and that is absolutely true, Mateo, because what you choose to do in your life is your business. It's your life. You only get one to live, and you got to make the best of it. That goes out to anybody. Don't let what others think about you or how they choose to act towards you define your life,
Right,
because
absolutely.
you get one life and you only get a certain amount of opportunities. It may be one opportunity, it may be two opportunities, but with that one opportunity that's presented, you got to take your chances and you got to go for it. Build your
Absolutely.
life, make something out of yourself that you're going to be remembered by. Exactly. Wrestling Bitch 29 says, be yourself. Who the fuck cares what everyone thinks? Be who makes you happy. And that is absolutely true, because at the end of the day, those people ain't going to be there. And you're going to be left stuck with whatever you choose to do with your life. And talking about adding on to this, an amateur, favorite amateur female superstar. She's not fully amateur, but got to throw it out there to her, man. Heather Reckless, man. She's the little engine that could. she performs in that ring. She is the current Honor Among Wrestling female champion, and she does it like no other. And she owns it up to it. She owns up to it, man. It doesn't matter if she's small. It does not matter if you're small. The same thing we said with AMB. Being small does not matter. What you do with yourself and how you prove yourself is what matters, because that's what makes people notice you. Going over to the professional wrestling side. A lot of names, man. A lot of names. you know, man. Big Baby, why don't you take this one first?
Man, I'm going to have two answers, because I got two companies that I'm going to choose from. I'm going to grab one from AEW and the work that he's put in this year. Christian fucking Cage, dude, has been the heel of the fucking year. I mean, wow. And then over on WWE side, I got my boy, the ring general Gunther. What a year for both them guys.
Speaking of heels, you know me, man. Speaking of heels, Roman Reigns, superstar of the year this year for me. I've got my top couple wrestlers that I'm an absolute fan of, and it's a very, 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 very slim line, close run up. My other one, my secondary, John Cena,
CM
because
Punk?
of the work that man does. Do what, brother?
I said CM Punk.
Don't you start. It's not time for that yet. So, Roman Reigns for being the amazing heel, creating the storylines that have brought so much life to the bloodline, along with Paul Heyman, and their brothers, Jimmy and Jay, his cousins, Jimmy and Jay, and their brother, Solo Sikoa. It's been an amazing year. And John Cena for everything he does, coming back for his short run to give the fans something that they've been wanting for a while he was on his hiatus from Hollywood. He just absolutely just keeps on amazing people. And the Make-A-Wish, man, the top Make-A-Wish giver. Like, he just does it because he loves his fans. He loves the people. And he's all about giving them what they want. So, and then top female professional wrestlers of the year. Mine's going to have to go out to Su Yung. In the short show time that I met that woman, dude, crazy as hell, man. The undead bride, just this wicked. She could have fell right in the line with a professional wrestler like Bray Wyatt, with that twisted undead bride gimmick. And Bray Wyatt could have made an amazing storyline because he, along with Roman Reigns being an amazing storyteller, Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Su Yung, if she would have had that chance to pair up with Bray Wyatt in some kind of a faction, there would have been no stopping that. They would have tore it up. So shout out with brother.
No, go ahead.
Shout out to Su Yung. My secondary, I'm gonna have to go with it's a lot of them, man. Holy cow. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has proven herself over and over again, man, why she is the man. So, shout out to our girl Becky, and what's yours, big baby?
Oh man, woo! The Queen, Charlotte Flair, coming in at number 1 for me. I know you're not a fan, brother, but she gets it done in the ring and she gets it done outside the ring. And meeting Su Yung was something very special because I actually watched her TNA Women's Knockout Championship runs, and she was a beast, still a beast, wasting referees in the middle of the ring with the kendo stick, I mean, Su Yung, shout out to Su Yung, but woo, the Queen, baby. I hope her injury, we don't want her gone too long. It said 9 months online, so that's going to be a long time without any figure eights.
Absolutely, man. And a runner-up here for me, I mean, just kind of coming in here behind everybody, I got to give a shout out to Seth Rollins, man. It's kind of picking at me a little bit, man, because he deserves it. He's our current world heavyweight champion, and he's doing it like no other, with a back injury. Nonetheless, his back hurts him after every match, and he just keeps giving the fans what he wants because it's something he loves doing, and he's just not ready to hang it up yet. So, shout out Seth. Keep on doing it, man. And we will keep on watching.
I am revolutionary.
Evolutionary. I love it, man. He hometown boy right there. Let's get it. And that leads us to one choice and one choice only, because we've only had one join us multiple times, and that's the favorite podcast of the year, Last Week in Wrestling. Dylan Musso, man, shout out to you. The Last Week in Wrestling podcast is the podcast of the year for us. Holy crap, man. You have been a big support for us. You've helped us find out ways to help build our podcast, to make our podcast better for our fans, to tell us what we needed to do to be able to provide our talks, our wrestling talks with our fans. Whether it's a creative episode, whether it's an episode with a fan, whether it's an episode with a professional or an amateur wrestler, you told us what we needed to do, man. And you're way up there in New York, in Queens, New York, and
Long Island.
all the way from what, brother?
Long Island.
Okay, I thought he said he was from Queens. Either way, New York, man, you're still thousands of miles from us. But and you didn't know us from Tom, Dick, or Harry. You didn't know us, but you took us under your wing because you had been doing this for a little while, and you said this is what you guys need to do, and we did it. We listened to what you said, and now things are just getting better. They're just getting better for us, and we're so happy to be able to keep doing this on a weekly basis, whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 or 4 times a week, whatever we got to do to give the fans what they want.
You know,
go ahead,
we went from 275 views in season 1 on Spotify to 7,900 views here on YouTube, Facebook. We've not even added in the Facebook views yet. We got to get a count still there, and we got Twitch, but well over 8K. What a season, man. 8K.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, that is because you pointed us. Okay, start out on audio. Get your audio in. All right, we did it. And then he's like, now it's time to go live. We did it. Okay, you StreamYard. Okay. And just, man, you have helped us so much. The relationship between Wrestling with Bros and Last Week in Wrestling podcast will always be right here for me, man.
Absolutely, man. It's just crazy, you know. It's to think everything that we've accomplished. Hey, you know, a lot of it's a thanks to Dylan. So, you know, we're just going to keep on trucking along and making things happen, and keep following our dreams. That's the foremost. Following our dreams with this, with wrestling, with everything that we're getting opportunities for. Because before, you know, I was a father, and I'm happy to be a father. I was a working man. I went to work every day. I worked my, you know, 7 to 5, 7 to 4, 7 to 3, 7 to 6 job. And now I'm getting to experience things that I didn't ever think I'd have the opportunity to do because I was pointed in the right direction. So, you know, moving on here, favorite guest of the year.
Man, I'm going to step on some toes. Oh, man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Woo!
Whew. Oh, man.
I'm going to do favorite face that came on the show and favorite heel.
Okay. All right.
So, favorite heel, favorite, you know, villain of wrestling that came on the show, the Jet, Benjamin Trust, was a very interesting. He stayed in character the whole time, and man, this guy sells it as a heel. I mean, and I watched some of his clips and some of his matches and some of his promos. This guy has it all.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go over to Babyface. It's a hard one between, you know, Mateo and AMB. But AMB, man, you got my vote, man. Video of the year, guest of the year. You just helped build us from the ground up. You were, you know, the first wrestler that was like really nice to us. That just said, yeah, guys, I'll come on. You know, not once, not twice, 3 times.
Yeah, and now he's going to be on a 4th time. January 2nd.
A&B for me.
Because he knows Wrestling with Bros is always a home for him when it comes to podcasts. It's always a home for him. A chance for him to be able to promote himself, but also kind of be able to just sit down and have a good talk with us because we enjoy doing it. He doesn't, if he can't do it, he lets us know. But Every time we've asked him, the man has had no problem doing it because he even said it himself. He enjoys doing it. He enjoys
Absolutely.
being on the podcast. So yeah, that goes to my favorite one. Not saying that I don't have other favorite follow-ups, runner-ups, Mateo, Isaiah Moore,
Noel
just
Summit.
just to name a couple. And that goes to my secondary, yeah, big mouth, Noel Summit. Man, the marionette Noel Summit. Man, you brought a whole different vibe to this podcast.
Oh yeah.
A whole different vibe that I didn't think was possible. And if we can find a way to get you and A and B both onto this podcast at the same exact time, we're gonna do it. So you can challenge A and B for that title. So, shout out to all of our guests, for coming onto the podcast for us, for making what we do and what we love possible. Because without you, the fans wouldn't be watching us just drone on and on about results in wrestling. There's so many different things we do. We creative episodes, like I said, chats with wrestlers, um, watch-alongs. Those are some of my favorite things too. I love to sit and just watch an episode and just chat it up with my brothers, as it's going on. So
Oh yeah.
just absolutely, and then it goes as it was said when I told you to shut your mouth earlier. We go into our rants of the night. Me and my brother here both have different opinions about certain wrestlers. Um, the first one here, my favorite, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Acknowledge him. Come on, big baby. You just sat here this whole time talking about why it was one of the best storylines,
One of
why
the
he was
best
one of the best
storylines.
storytellers, why he was one of the best storytellers of this era right now in the past
Yeah,
10 years.
but his 5 moves in Vacation Time is a little crazy. I mean, we got a drive-by kick, a spear, a jumping Superman clothesline, and then a ooh in the corner, and some of the Power Man, Power Ranger punch. It's Morphin Time, and then Superman punch, and still champion after my family, basically wrestled the whole
Don't
match
forget
for me.
the spear.
After the interference that got you the spear because you can't land it on your own.
Brother, you talk a ton of trash about him, but it is what it is, man. I mean, he is still our champion.
But without the bloodline, would he still be champion?
Depends on if WWE wanted him to be the champion, is what it really comes down to. But we had a guest on recently. Who was it? Just recently. What was that guy's name?
Isaiah Moore?
Was it Isaiah or was it Benjamin Jett that said it? Said that you got to think about it like this. If they shoved Roman Reigns down our throat every week.
They did.
Listen, if they shoved him down our throats every week, constantly with the lack of a full storyline right now with the bloodline, because they're trying to stretch it out, because they want Roman to hold it for this time period that it's already in his contract. These short appearances, couple here, one here, and then letting his family members do their thing in between, kind of when he comes back, kind of gives a little more, ooh, yes, he's here. The tribal chief is back, and it makes people want to see what's going to happen that week because he hasn't been here for a month. So he's just been taking time, with his council and the tribe and spending time with family while his brothers are trying to cousins are trying to build a name for themselves. And That's what it comes down to. But we're never gonna agree on that. I almost had
Oh,
you one time. I have had you, and you cannot deny this. When he beat Brock Lesnar that last time, you said, I have no other option but to acknowledge him. You said that
I
in
did
your
say
living
that.
room.
I did say that because they buried the whole damn roster to this guy. Everybody, multiple times, over and over, like we fucking get it. Okay, just let him take a vacation. Let him go sit on the beach like he's been doing, and let him get 200 more days as champion because you're trying to erase Hulk Hogan's record. We all know that's what's happening right now. He's not dropping the belt at WrestleMania 40, and he's sure as hell not dropping the belt at the Royal Rumble. We know it. We know it as wrestling fans. He's not losing. He's beating Hulk Hogan's record, which to me, okay, if you can make it that long and you stayed relevant too, I'll give him that.
Another 250 days.
Might as well
That's
just
less than a
shove it
year.
down our throat.
It's less than a year.
But
and then it comes into your favorite. I know Dylan's going to agree with me on this.
He's been coming around.
CM Punk.
Look, it's clobbering time, okay? CM Punk, look, he beat Dominic Mysterio.
It's clobbering time backstage while I jump people and beat their ass because I don't get what I want.
But he put on a show with Dominic Mysterio, and he looked good. Have you seen the footage?
No, because it
He
didn't
looked
interest me.
good in the ring, and he gave Dominic some of the match. It wasn't a total domination thing. It was a one-on-one hell of a match at Madison Square Garden. Now, I understand you're worried about Punk becoming old Punk again and doing what Punk does, grabbing the title, going home, I want more money. But what if CM Punk plays ball?
I have to see it first.
But what if?
It
What if
depends on
CM
how
Punk
he plays
ball?
It depends on how he plays ball. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to become a fan of CM Punk. You're not going to get me to say that. Just like I'm not going to get you to say, oh, I like Roman now. It's just not going to happen.
I got respect for his storytelling and the way he interacts with the fans now. Like that one video of that little kid that was giving him the look, and Roman would turn around and look at him. Like that right there, that's the Roman Reigns that I love right there. Interacting with the fans and making the fans involved. That's what he's good at lately. But he can thank Paul Heyman for that. Paul Heyman is the one that pulled him aside and said, well, you got to learn how to cut a promo, kid, because you fucking suck.
And Paul Heyman taught him.
That's what I'm saying. So this whole thing has built Roman Reigns, and he's right. He's levels above people right now. He is levels above people. I agree with that. But I will, he's going to have to lose sometime to somebody. It's going to have to end eventually. Like, what we're going to have, a 3,000-day run? You got Vince McMahon in the background going, I want to make sure nobody ever beats him again.
It goes to that Facebook post where they showed Roman 3,482 days. Roman's got gray hair, and all the bloodline members are all gray and old. And for some reason, Paul Heyman's really young in that picture. I don't. Oh, it was Paul Heyman's son. That's what somebody said. Because Paul Heyman died. So Wrestling Bitch 29 says the only one of the main reasons I will not acknowledge him is because they have had this go on for so long. I'm just tired of seeing it. I want to turn off my TV every time it comes on. Turn it off. No one cares if you turn it off. Because at the end of the day, the next person that gets in there and gets the title and has a long run, the fans are going to boo that too if they don't like him. Or they're going to cheer him because they absolutely love him. You love CM Punk at this current moment. If he's got a 1,300-day run and you love him, you're still going to keep on acknowledging the fact that he's the champion.
You know,
Correct.
Punk's 40 some day run, you know, back in the day, that was impressive for back then. 400 some days as champion.
Yeah, Roman surpassed that a while ago.
Yes, he
800
did.
some days ago.
But
800 some days ago.
we do have a guest coming on January 5th, Ragnar the Ruthless from OVW. And
Yep.
this guy is up and coming. He is a big boy that can do high flying shit. And I can't wait to have him on the show.
I'm exactly. I'm super excited as well. I've heard you talking about him a little bit. You know, and we've seen some of the greats come from OVW. John Cena, Batista.
Randy
They all came up, Randy Orton, in a family together. They came as they were all selected by good old JR, Jim Ross, you know. And if I've got to give an announcer a shout out for the year, JR, good old JR. And right behind him on a second runner up, Michael Cole. You know, and then when I go over to the side with the small promotions, announcer of the year goes to our boy Trey Parker.
Trey
Trey
Bebe.
Parker. Trey Bebe.
Hey.
Man. You have given us some amazing insight into the wrestling world, into the HAW world. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Well, what about you, brother? What are your favorite announcers and ringside you know, what do they call those
Ring announcers?
ring announcers, and then there's the people that sit
Commentary?
commentary. Damn it. Those are my favorite commentary. JR and Michael Cole, my favorite commentary of the year. My favorite ring announcer goes out to Trey Bebe. You know, I kind of got that a little mixed up there for a minute. What about you, Big Baby?
You know, favorite ring announcer. I can't remember her name exactly. I know her first name. Is it Samantha Joe?
Yep. JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo. She is incredible at her job, and the current Trey Bebe for HAW. You know, we're talking indie scene. He's my favorite ring announcer. Thanks for the shout out, by the way. You know, wrestling with bros at the live event. That was nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Favorite commentator, man, is always going to be JR. Always going to be Jim Ross for me. And second is Puppies JR. Puppies, you know.
Jared the King Lawler.
Jared the King Lawler. I just love the guy, man. He's so hilarious. And Booker T.
Okay. All right. You know, we've had so many amazing things happen this year, man. And my favorite promotion of the year, you know, amateur, you know, we really haven't had a chance to get to know a lot of smaller promotions yet. And we're slowly doing that. That's slowly becoming a thing for us. But, you know, shout out to HAW, man, because they have, man, they just absolutely have done it all, you know, so far in the Quad Cities that's possible. They've brought some amazing guests, some amazing superstars into the ring. They have shocked us with some of these matches that they perform at a top caliber level for such a small promotion. The things that they make happen, it's amazing. You know, venue of the year, Nerd Speak Brewery over in Bettendorf.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Nerd Speak, they provide the perfect alcohol when you want to get a good drink, man. They provide the perfect venue for a wrestling show, whether it's outside in front of the brewery or it's over in the hangar. Man, it's just amazing for us to be able to watch and come there. And they're just very welcoming. They just welcome to Nerd Speak. You know, it was great. And shout out to Danny Maldo. for making this all happen for us, for being willing to come on to the podcast for an episode and talk about HAW and upcoming stuff and whatnot, and just kind of talking about himself and his promotion. Danny, man, your promotion is amazing. Your creation is amazing. And just keep going, man, because the stars are the limit. The sky's the limit. And you just keep on going and keep on pushing. And one day we might see HAW on live television because it became that damn big. And we hope that's where it goes to. And we'll continue to keep watching for years. It's got to. So
the professional relationship that has been built with this company and the owner, Danny, and HAW has been something very special to me. This is why we do this. This is why we are podcasters. Holy crap. When I got to meet Su Yung at the HAW event, I'm never going to forget that. You can never take that from me.
No.
Getting to see AMB defend his championship and beat Theseus. Thank God. Theseus did not pick up that title. Thank God.
Man. You know, I got to take granted it was a shot of Coca-Cola. I got to take a shot with Su Yung in the bar.
You never get that story taken from you.
Nerd Speak Brewery made that happen. Nerd Speak did. That's why I and I heard that unfortunately they're going to be closing their doors because they can't. It's not physically possible for them to afford to stay open out that far, but they are going to continue to make their beer. Their beer will continue to be brewed, and they'll find ways to sell it to other promotions. Wrestling Bitch 29, we appreciate you. Says you guys have done an amazing job since April. It hasn't even been a year that you've had your podcast, and look at all the accomplishments you guys have done. Anywhere from having guests. I don't know what. You have gone anywhere from having guests to be invited to shows like you guys have done so much since April. It is just amazing, and I love you both for it. And I am so proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you as well. And we appreciate all of our fans.
All of them.
Everybody that leaves a comment, everybody that talks to us. It has been an honor to be able to do this because, at one point it was a pipe dream.
Yes, it was.
We talked about it. We said, hey, we should do this. And because every day you hear about a new podcast that started up. And every day new podcasters are chasing their dream of being able to talk in front of people, of being able to record a live video. And that goes out to a shout out to StreamYard because StreamYard makes that happen for so many podcasters like we're doing right now. We got to design this the way we wanted to design it. And I will let you fans in on a little secret, the Wrestling with Bros logos. We're going to be making those different each year. We're going to change them up, keep it changed up, make it look cool. I absolutely love one of our very first logos, the wrestling ring with Wrestling and Bros with the fog in the background. Awesome.
It's a good starting point.
It's a good starting point. It's amazing. And, we have to keep spicing it up because we don't want it to get boring. We want our fans to be happy and excited to see what we are providing. Our content, and now we go into honorable mentions of the year. I can go on and on, man. Trey Bebe, Trey Parker, Danny Maldo, Conan Lycan, AMB, Su Yung, Heather Reckless, Mateo, Isaiah Moore.
Hey, let's not forget Kenny Nine coming on twice this year.
Kenny Nine, man. Cool dude. I mean, absolutely cool dude.
The Jet Benjamin Trust. Yes. There ain't just one honorable mentions. You all get honorable mentions. Isaiah Moore, everyone.
It's a shout out to everybody that made an appearance on our show this year because there wasn't one guest that came on here that we just didn't enjoy and have a good time with. Some things, some stuff that was talked about and some guests, they had a little more, let's get this kind of thing. Noel Summit. a few had a little more. They had a little more vibe, energy, and wanted to do this thing. Some just kind of came on, did an interview, and it was a great time. But you all have an honorable mention, man, from us, because, like we said, this wouldn't have happened for us if it hadn't been for y'all. We really, really appreciate you all. Our fans, shout out to all of you for supporting us, for making this a dream for us. 2023, an amazing start, but it's just that's exactly what it is. It's a start. Wrestling with Bros, we hope to keep going for years. We hope it's a thing that the fans can have a good time watching for years. And as time goes, it'll get better. It started out looking a little drabby, but it's starting to kind of come together a little bit. Big Baby at one point was on his phone and his screen was turned sideways and there was black on either side. At one point, I was probably the same way at some point, but as quickly as I could, I got me a laptop so I could stretch it out, and then I had to share the secret with Big Baby that all you got to do is turn your phone sideways. And as soon as he did, holy cow, he had a whole screen. Man, I don't even want this podcast to end right now. But, like we say at the end of every episode, brother, lead us into it.
Well, it's unfortunately that time. But this is the season 2 ender, the season 2 finale. Season 3 pops out with the amazing, talented AMB on January
2nd, 7 p.m.
Episode 1, Season 3.
2, Episode 37, year closer. This has been another amazing episode of Wrestling with Bros 2023 finale. Closing it out. Judas Black.
And I'm Big Baby Ben.
We appreciate you, fans.